The glitch in the human story, when an ancient mind meets an endless world. I've begun to notice a quiet problem. Even with constant messages, updates, and interaction, connection often feels incomplete, as if something important is missing beneath it. This isn't about being alone. It is about why, in a world designed to keep us connected, the feeling of connection itself sometimes fails to arrive. This is an exploration of that gap. A quiet signal in the noise. I begin by noticing something subtle, not a loud alarm or a clear problem, but a faint tension that feels like a background hum within me. As I sit with it, a quiet question forms. Why does a world filled with constant connection still feel, in some strange way, distant? I am not trying to solve this or rush toward an answer. I am simply observing what it feels like to live in this moment, where everything is within reach, yet something essential seems just beyond it. There is no urgency here, only curiosity about what it means to be human in a world we have built faster than we can fully understand. The age of infinite reach. We now live in a time where distance has almost disappeared. A thought can cross continents in a second, a voice can appear instantly, and a face can be summoned with a simple tap. From one perspective, this is extraordinary, because for most of human history, connection required effort, movement, and physical presence. Now, it feels effortless and immediate. Yet even as the world grows closer in this way, I sense a quiet widening somewhere else. It is not a distance in space, but a distance in experience. Something subtle that cannot be measured but can still be felt. The ancient body in a new world. My body does not feel modern, even if my environment is. It still responds to tone, silence, rhythm, and presence in ways that feel deeply rooted and unchanged. For thousands of years, connection meant being physically near others, sharing space, time, and attention. The human nervous system evolved in small groups where being seen and heard was not optional, but essential for survival. Now, I can be visible to many people at once and still feel unseen. This does not necessarily mean something is wrong with me, but rather that the system I carry was designed for a different kind of world. The missing signals. There is a quiet language that the body understands. One that exists in eye contact, pauses, micro-expressions, and subtle shifts in tone. These signals may seem small, but they carry a deep sense of meaning. In digital spaces, many of these signals disappear, leaving behind fragments such as text, images, and reactions. These forms of communication are efficient and clear, but they are also incomplete. It feels similar to hearing a familiar song with most of its notes removed. The structure is still there, but something essential is missing, and the experience feels thinner as a result. The illusion of fullness. There are moments when I scroll through messages, updates, and conversations, and it creates a sense of abundance. There are so many voices, so many points of contact, and so much happening at once. However, the feeling does not fully settle within me. It remains slightly unfinished, like eating something that fills the stomach but does not truly nourish the body. The interaction happens, but the experience does not fully land. And so I continue, not necessarily out of need, but because something within me still feels unresolved. Perception Insight Quiz. After you listened, open the quiz tab. The questions reveal how you interpreted what you heard, and invite you to have noticed the hidden logic in your reactions. Then, share your score in the comments. The loop of seeking. A pattern begins to reveal itself in this behavior. There is a small impulse to check, to refresh, and to look again. Not because something is missing in that exact moment, but because something might appear. This feeling is not exactly desire, it is closer to anticipation. A quiet leaning forward into the possibility of something new. Each time the loop completes, it resets again. It does not fully satisfy, but it also does not feel entirely empty, which keeps the cycle going in a way that is difficult to interrupt. The fragmented attention. I start to notice how my attention behaves in this environment. It does not settle as easily as it once did, but instead flickers and shifts, constantly adjusting to new inputs. Moments begin to feel shorter, and thoughts feel less developed. Not because depth has disappeared, but because it has become harder to access. It feels similar to trying to focus on a single voice in a crowded room, where the noise does not fully overpower it, but makes it difficult to hear clearly. The loss of silence. There was a time when silence was a natural part of daily life. Not a dramatic or intentional silence, but simply the absence of constant input. Now, silence can feel unfamiliar, and even a few seconds without stimulation can create a subtle discomfort. It is not painful, but it feels exposed, as if something is missing. However, it is possible that nothing is missing at all. Instead, something may be returning, something we have simply forgotten how to sit with and recognize. The inner distance. Loneliness is often described as being physically alone, but this experience feels different from that definition. I can be surrounded by interaction, messages, and updates, and still feel a kind of distance that is difficult to explain. It is not necessarily a distance from others, but from the experience of connection itself. It feels as though the bridge exists, but I am not fully crossing it. Or perhaps the bridge itself is not built for the kind of crossing I actually need. The social body. Connection is not only something that happens in the mind, it is also deeply physical. The body responds through heart rate, breathing, posture, and subtle synchronization when people share space. These processes happen beneath conscious awareness, creating a sense of alignment that cannot be easily replicated. Without this physical synchrony, something essential is absent. It may not be visible, but it is deeply felt in a way that is difficult to replace. The paradox of connection. This is where the tension becomes clearer. We are more connected than ever before in terms of access and communication. Yet the experience of connection feels less complete. This does not mean that technology has failed, but rather that it has succeeded in a different way than our biology expects. It has increased access and multiplied interactions, but often at the cost of depth and presence, and somewhere in that exchange, the nature of connection has changed. The world we built. The systems around us are not neutral. They are designed to hold attention, extend engagement, and remove friction from interaction. There are no natural stopping points, no clear sense of completion, and no obvious moment where the experience feels finished. As a result, the flow continues endlessly, creating a stream without a clear boundary, where the mind keeps moving without fully arriving. The human threshold. The human mind was not designed for endless input. It seeks patterns, closure, and meaning, and when those are absent, it continues searching. This does not mean the mind is failing. On the contrary, it is functioning exactly as it was designed to. Trying to make sense of an environment that no longer provides clear edges or limits. The tension arises not from weakness, but from mismatch. From a system meeting a world that operates by very different rules. Remembering the texture of being. There are still moments, often quiet and unremarkable, where something shifts. A conversation flows without interruption, a shared laugh lingers, or a silence feels full instead of empty. In these moments, connection feels different. It is not faster or louder, but it feels more complete and grounded. This contrast becomes noticeable, not as a judgment of one over the other, but as a recognition of different qualities of experience. The glitch in the story. Perhaps this is the glitch, not a failure within us, but a mismatch between the world we carry inside and the one we have created outside. We are systems built for depth, now living in an environment of endless surface. Yet the story does not end here. Because the same awareness that allows us to notice this mismatch also allows us to understand it. Something shifts in that understanding, not dramatically, but enough to feel the difference between true connection and the feeling of it. And perhaps that is where the human story continues. Not in fixing everything, but in seeing clearly how we are living within it. This is the Sapiens Way, where humanity reflects on the worlds it creates and the beings it is becoming. The conversation doesn't end here. Visit the quiz tab and share your score in the comments. Thanks for your time. It's been a delight. What should we explore next? Comment, share, and save your insight. Subscribe to Orbital Sapiens and keep your thoughts bright.